Yeah, and I see you.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh,
I don't think I've actually met Tucker, but I just want to congratulate you guys on 10 years. So, hey, Tucker.
Yeah. Hi.
You know what? I'll co-op to those few years I wasn't there. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
You really did it, man.
You'd have made it this far?
I did it.
This long?
Yeah. 6.5 years.
I'll tell you, I didn't think they'd make it this far.
Yeah, me neither.
Nobody did.
I didn't think I'd live this long.
For sure. When Woody texted me, and it's so funny going back, like you guys, I remember the video you made where it's like, Lefty out, Merca in. Like you guys spent so much of that video being like, we were going back and forth with contract negotiations and this and that with Lefty and so. And then I just remember what he texted me out of the blue one day, hadn't spoken in months, and was like, hey, I want to do PKA, we'll pay you X a week. Just like, yeah. Just showed up that week. Oh, boys, it's been a hot minute. You know, yeah, simple as fuck. So
yeah, Filthy. I'm sorry, not Filthy. Lefty acted like he was negotiating, like he was a star pitcher or something for the Marlins, and we were about to trade, and he had the Braves and the fucking Padres to consider or something like that. I don't know what his problem was. I had no problem with him as a person, but I just couldn't stand him on the show.
We got a good dynamic now, so
yeah,
very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm curious how he's doing in life. I wonder what he's up to.
Why? Are you also considered
truly why?
Like who else are you curious about? Like, hey, I wonder what.
I guess it's a natural state for me. I think that about people I went to high school with.
I was about to use that as an example. Like, do you care about that guy you went to 8th grade with that moved to Seattle that summer? Like,
I just want to know who died.
Yeah, you probably aren't actively thinking, like, you don't wake up every morning and you're like, what is Miss Kim from 8th grade class? Like, what is she doing? But sometimes, like recently I had a friend from high school text me and they said, yo, a friend of ours or a mutual past friend of ours sent me this photo with us in it. And I like looked in the background and I saw somebody dressed up super weird. It must have been like Spirit Week. And I'm like, what are you up to? Like now I'm just curious, like, are you alive still? And he got fat and he runs like a medical wing in a university. So,
you know what I'm wondering?
That's what he's up to?
Question.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm wondering how Mrs. Monty's tits are holding up. My 7th grade English teacher. They were
that really
enormous.
Miss Monty was
probably
the name
not
of
well.
Miss Monty is the name of my college guidance counselor from high school that I was just talking to this morning because I'm friends with her. And I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck?
Does she have tits bigger than your head too? Bigger than my head?
No.
Tits bigger than your head, bigger than Taylor's head. Don't age well ever, right?
Well, she was like she was probably like 23 at the time.
Yeah,
and that's the guy who I told you that there was that hilarious obese black guy Tyrese who had or something like that, and he would sit in the back in every class except in this class he would sit front and center, right, and Miss Monty would sit there with her giant fucking it was like, you know, at the time, like you're in 7th grade, you don't really know the norms, but like if Taylor of right now walked in, I'd be like taking her aside, be like, do you think this is an appropriate way to dress in front of 12-year-old boys? Do you think they're learning anything about exposition or writing? No, of course not. Your enormous tits are hanging out.
They're learning about life, Taylor.
And she would sometimes not wear underwear.
Lesson.
She taught me learn nothing.
She had some big old hodonkers, some big.
Yeah, and she sometimes wouldn't. None of the rest of us could confirm this, so I thought Tyrese was lying. But he said she wouldn't wear underwear sometimes, and that was why he sat in front of her to see her cross. And like at lunch sometimes, because we had it before lunch, he'd be like, "Y'all see that when she crossed her legs today?" And like it's like, no, we didn't, Tyrese. And he's like, "Oh,
I had a teacher.
Well, that's why I got the best seat in the house." Yeah.
Dude, so my 7th grade English teacher was widely known for touching her own boobs. I don't know what the scoop was, what the deal was. At first, I thought maybe it was a girl thing where I was just uninformed. But even the girls gave her a hard time for touching her own boobs.
In what way? Can you demonstrate?
It's just probably just like, you know,
just
those
like lifting them. I think she adjusted her bra constantly and just, you know, like, I don't know, like had to fiddle with them or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
need a hand, ma'am?
The last day of school, she put on a sweater that had 2 hands grabbing her own boobs that she wore to class all day long to sort of like
she knew,
like she owned the joke or something. Like, yeah, like everyone was like, "Oh my God, can you believe? Like she's the boob touching teacher," and she did it.
I mean, what was it about 7th grade teachers? Because my 7th grade math teacher would not wear a bra, and she had nice boobs, but she had rock hard nips, and they were like very poignant and very noticeable,
like
and
poignant.
Rock
Yeah,
hard
but wait,
nipples
what-
are
They
amazing.
made great points.
I don't know. I don't know why more girls don't take advantage of this.
Those were
right?
concise nipples. They could cut right to the heart of an issue.
They were.
If
It was distracting.
If I was
But
a
what Korean
girl
Tucker would you
trying
start
to
getting
get
interested in
attention,
girls?
I would absolutely do something to keep those nipples hard and poking out, right?
Pierce 'em.
Me at the bar scene as like a 22-year-old girl, you would be very aware of the presence of my nipples.
You'd be a real
Yeah.
whore.
Yeah, I would.
They're totally poignant nipples, evoking a keen sense of sadness and regret.
This is Stephen King.
According to Webster, poignant nipples.
A sense of sadness and regret because you never got to suck them, maybe.
I love when people like two words sound a bit alike and they completely like Michael Scott when he's giving that wedding toast. He's like, "It's a wedding." He goes, Webster defines a wedding as the fusing of two metals with a hot torch. And you're like, that's welding, you asshole.
That is really funny. That's a good thing.
We all know webbing is the space between a duck's toes.
Mhm.
We do.
Or your inbred cousin's fingers.
Mm.
Do inbred people get webbing?
No,
No,
but that's
we should
They
breed
might.
some fucking Michael Phelps super inbred
Mhm.
duck hand,
Man.
Think
swimmer.
of how far behind we are in the race. China's been doing this shit for 20 years. They've already
You're
got
right.
duck men living underground, creating their own parallel society.
okay, Kramer.
Yeah, how are you telling this joke not as Alex
We've had
Jones?
We've had a pig man since '95 at least.
Big man.
Mm-hmm.
We've had
Why
frogmen.
95? What happened in 95 that was like
The episode of Seinfeld about
Yeah,
the pig
Seinfeld.
man.
Mm.
Yeah.
they were like, well, can we do it?
Yeah, I can't do any. I can't
No,
do
what-
any Kramer impressions.
is what
but he
Al
thinks he's a
Gore-
Pig man.
Yeah, Al Gore leaned into that with the man bear pig. We saw another glimpse of it in pop culture. So you're
Oh, yeah.
right.
I'm super cereal.
I'm
was a
cereal,
good one.
guys. It's the man bear pig.
They wanted to know if they could do something, but they never asked if they should.
I haven't. When's new South Park come out? I feel like it's been forever since the new South Park season came out.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I thought last season was good. I want them to rip on Tiger King. I think they could do a whole season
They will,
parodying Tiger King very, very easily. And you know, Kenny getting eaten by tigers, and I don't know. Randy Marsh could do something in there. He could open a tiger farm. He could be the Tiger King for all I care. It could be great.
How many episodes are normally in a South Park season? 12 or 24 or 20? Like,
I think now they're so successful? They're like down to 10 or something. 10 or 12.
Yeah, so that's like the one thing that I think South Park could do really well now, but they won't because they don't need to make all this content, is like have mini arcs. You know, give us 3 episodes on Tiger King, right? Like give me a little
occasionally do.
something.
Some of
instead.
their best stuff has been mini arcs. The Imagination Land mini arc
hilarious.
is probably my
Mhm.
favorite thing they've ever done. It's 3
Yeah.
episodes.
Well, we've talked
like
about
that
this a
lot.
million times. The mini arc, fine, 2 or 3 episodes. Don't do a full season arc. I don't
I
like that
hate
with South Park.
in every show, anime, fucking real shows, like break it down to consumable, like 3 to 5 episode
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, shit. We don't have the
stinks.
attention span for more than 3 of them.
Well,
I
because
swear
like
to God,
It's not that.
it's that they run out of jokes. So like the election one they did a few years ago when Trump won, like it was clear how bad of an idea it was to do a full story arc because they expected Hillary to win. And like, so after the election episode happened, it was like clearly they were panicking. Like, where do we go from here? Shit, this arc already isn't as funny as we thought. We're drilling the jokes into the ground. Whereas if they were doing like a 3-episode thing, a 2-episode thing, a one-off, like I
Right.
don't know, that engages me more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like when they're really operating off the seat of their pants. And you're right, because Hillary
Sure.
did not win. They were caught
Off
off
their pants
guard,
down.
and they went to the member berries storyline, and it just wasn't
That
very
wasn't
good.
funny. Yeah, that just
No.
it was clearly a panic, like crab people kind of thing they did. Because
Yep.
usually the episodes where crab people show up, it's not funny. And they've even admitted in interviews, they're like, crab people is a device we use if we cannot figure out how to end something. We just put crab people as the bad
They
guys.
look like crab and they taste like people, dude. They're
crab
people.
people.
Like-
Walk
like,
like,
what else is there?
crabs,
Oh,
talk
that's what it
like
is.
people.
Just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that show does rock. I love that. I'm getting so much little like in this quarantine, I'm watching my comfort shows a lot. Like It's Always Sunny, South Park, King of the Hill, like just any sort of downtime where I need background, like just comfort show. Throw on fucking season 4